Hello and welcome to FudgeMuppet. It's Michael here bringing you the result of our Warlock backstory competition. Firstly, I want to say that we received hundreds of backstories for our Warlock over social media and YouTube, and we did go to the effort of reading them all. Of course, some stories were better than others, so if you're not the winner, it doesn't mean your story wasn't good. To begin with, we're gonna have some honorable mentions, aka your idea was silly but we loved it, and I'll also be showing a list of usernames of people whose backstories earned the Fully Sick Gold Star Award. The winner we've chosen is quite lengthy and will be announced at the end. We don't have time to read the runner-up, but it was Tebow99, so congratulations. The first honorable mention was sent in by Ulfric Dundercloak, and it says, the Warlock was a hella-dank mage from the College of Weed Smokers. He took the Zakrisos mask on honor of his hobby of watching hentai. He plans on becoming the most edgy mage of Swagriel. This was definitely one of the best build backstories we've ever seen, so congratulations Ulfric. Next up, we have a backstory sent in by Zach Aguilar, and be warned, it's naughty. The Warlock was once the Prime Minister in High Rock, but was then exiled for fucking dead pigs. So he went to Skyrim where there are no pigs, but he still keeps the head of a dead pig in his inventory when he has urges. The third Warlock backstory was sent in by Lorenzo Lanarilli, and he says, the Warlock grew up in Skyrim where his family could only afford beans. One day he was sick of eating beans, so he went to a tavern to get something else. The only thing they had in stock was beans. Angered, the Warlock went home. When he arrived, he saw that his parents had been killed. They weren't only killed by bandits, but they were killed by the bandit leader YouTube the Destroyer of Fun. In a fit of rage, he decided to attack the bandit camp, only to find it burnt to the ground. He found a note in the middle of the camp that said, this location was copyrighted material we had to shit on from Google. After this experience, he swore to destroy Google because they had robbed him of his redemption. The Warlock knew how powerful Google was and knew he needed to train. He went to college and became a super rad Warlock dude. When he was in Solstheim doing research, his connections at the college discovered the location of Google. On his way back to Skyrim, he was captured on the border. Next is a story, or a sentence, by Cannibal Potato. One day, a bored farmer woke up and thought, I'm gonna become a motherfucking warlock, and then he became a warlock. The last honorable mention comes from Daniel Murtag, and he says, the Warlock was a pimp over in the club in the Imperial City. He used his magic and standing in the Guild of Mages to cover up his prostitution and slaver's ring. But he was discovered by a guard, and to avoid going to jail for his many murders of the hookers that tried to run, he had to leave and was caught on the border of Skyrim. He is also a raging alcoholic. Immense congratulations to these people, and before I announce the winners, here are the people out of the hundreds of submissions who receive the Fully Sick Gold Star Award. Now it is time for the winner. So without waiting any longer, the winner of the Warlock backstory redone goes to Quick Shadow 485. He actually picked a red guard for the build because the shield charge with the adrenaline rush will result in more charges. His story has been rephrased by us slightly, so it makes a bit more sense. It goes like this. The Warlock was not always the Warlock. Long ago, he was a little red guard kid growing up in Dragonstar. Growing up, he had to take care of his younger sister, whom their mother died giving birth to. The father of the Warlock was hit hard by the death of his wife, and as a result had become a skooma addict, spending all of the money he earned on his addiction. The Warlock knew it was now up to him to do something to provide for both he and his sister. This was the last thing his mother asked him to do, protect his sister. He was always talented in the spell Paralyze, and he used to practice on scorpions for fun. Out of desperation with no money, he decided to use his natural talent of paralysis to rob travelers on the road. This was a dangerous task, and occasionally travelers would have enough fight left in them to swing with a scimitar or two. Because of this, the Warlock carried a wooden shield to protect himself. His father was originally the one who made him this exact shield to protect himself from bullies since he was very weak. His mother even helped him by teaching him Paralyze before she died giving birth to his sister. One day, however, when the young Warlock was 13, his father tried to kill him while high on skooma. While doing so, he ranted on and on about he was going to murder the Warlock and then sell his sister into slavery to pay for his addiction. In a violent scuffle, the young Warlock was forced to cast Paralyze on his own father and then decided to bash in his head repeatedly with the shield he made. Following this act of rage done in self-defense, he grabbed his infant sister and ran away southeast to Elenhir. After many months of searching, both Redguards were adopted, and you can actually choose whether it is by a merchant family or an Alakir mercenary family. Both were adopted for extra help with chores, although the parents of both families did care for the Warlock and his sister. Aging 2 more years, the Warlock helped out his new family by giving them some of his income. He became a courier, not in Prim, but to deliver messages to the associates of his guardian father. Unfortunately for the Warlock, on one of his journeys he was caught in a very violent lightning storm, and the Warlock was struck by lightning. While unconscious for 12 long hours, he dreamt about lightning and about its nature. By the time the Warlock awoke, he was obsessed with the concept of using lightning in his magical arsenal. As soon as the Warlock returned to the family estate, he hit the books and spell tomes hard and learned about all that was magic and all that was lightning. For several months, the teen Warlock isolated himself in his chambers, only leaving to get food or more studying material. He wanted to learn everything about lightning. He was obsessed. Only when the teen Warlock's sister, who was 5 at the time, yelled for his help, was he broken from his obsessive trance. Struggle had followed the Warlock, and the town was getting attacked by a massive bandit gang who had no Redguard members. The Warlock, who was 15 at the time, grabbed his old shield and went to join the town defense. Most of the guards were dead and only the townsfolk remained. The teen Warlock rallied all the townsfolk into defense, reminding them of their Redguard blood. With the teen Warlock leading the retaliation with lightning magic, an old wooden shield, and either enchanted robes or Alakir armor, which you can decide, the bandits were swiftly defeated by the people. Because of this event, the teen Warlock became a town hero. As a result, he was getting many offers for work as a mercenary, primarily guard work like protecting caravans or archaeologists in ancient Dwemer ruins. The more work the Warlock did, the more of a name he made for himself. 5 years later, and 20 years old, the Warlock was a well-known mercenary and had contracts all across Tamriel to take out people and protect people. One day, on another one of his archaeology jobs in Morrowind, he was part of a team exploring a Dwemer ruin when his entire group was ambushed and cornered by several Dwemer automatons. The Warlock, being the guard, went up against many Dwemer spiders, but he was shocked by them in his face. This slightly disfigured his appearance and he wanted to hide it. Knocked unconscious, he dreamt of lightning again, but this time he saw a lot more. He could see a storm of epic proportions, with nothing but lightning continuously striking a large open terrain. Unfortunately, the archaeological team was massacred and he was the only survivor. Due to the shock, the Warlock was now blind in his left eye. The Warlock actually went to work for his new family as an enchanter, until the Thalmor invaded. With the Thalmor invasion came more clients, and the Warlock became famous again as nobles wanted their lands protected. Little did the Warlock know that he was guarding high priority targets from the Thalmor. These targets were attacked by massive amounts of Thalmor troops, and the Warlock was trapped within a massive skirmish. With all the other hired help dead, the Warlock had to hold off the horde of Thalmor by himself, which he did, entirely using all the spells in his arsenal. Winning this battle, the Warlock gained even more reputation. The Thalmor, though, wanted payback for this defeat, and sent assassins to the estate of the Warlock. Breaking into the house, a fight broke out, and in the struggle, the Warlock bashed in the head of an assassin, just like he had done to his father long ago. Another assassin, however, struck him in the face with a lightning spell. It was the same place the Dwemer spider struck him, and again, he became unconscious, but only for a very brief period of time. The blackout seemed like an eternity, and the Warlock had a final dream of lightning in which he believed that he had great power and he needed to seek it out. While the dream felt like a very long time, it only lasted about 5 seconds. He awoke to the Thalmor assassin standing over him, but with a single wave of his hand, the Warlock summoned a Storm Atronach, which then killed the Thalmor assassin. The Warlock worked continually throughout the entire Thalmor situation until of course their forces withdrew. The Warlock could now focus on his lightning obsession and travelled around Tamriel for 20 years, learning from various mages to master electricity. He then decided to go to the College of Winterhold, but was of course caught on the border, and his very old shield finally broke. He also wanted to visit the Throne of the World so he could be as close to lightning as possible. And that finishes off the backstory of the Warlock, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and congratulations to everyone who submitted an entry. There were plenty of backstories that were extremely good, but they were just too short. But hey, you obviously all have some great ideas. My name is Michael, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time with more Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6 discussions, Fallout 4 videos, and our Star Wars lore series.